18 hours. That is all the time they had, from the first sign to total silence. And we know this not from guesswork, from the ash itself. Volcanologists have studied every layer, every inch of debris, every body position, and they reconstructed it, hour by hour. This is what happened. At 1 in the afternoon, the ground shook, not violently, just enough to rattle the cups on the tables. People had felt this before. They went back to their lunch. Then the sky changed color, not slowly. In minutes, the blue sky above Pompeii turned purple, then orange, then black. By 2 in the afternoon, the eruption column had reached 15 miles into the sky.
The
Then
gods
objects
have
began
abandoned
falling.
us.
Pumice stones, light as cork, hot to the touch. The streets filled with people who didn't know whether to run or wait it out. Most waited. That decision killed them. By 3 in the afternoon, pumice was accumulating at 6 inches per hour. On every roof, every street, every person still outside. The air became impossible to breathe. Sulfur, ash, heat. People tied wet cloth around their faces and ran for the city gates. We found them on the roads, skeletons clutching bags of gold coins, silver jewelry still in their hands. They almost made it. By 5 in the afternoon, the roofs began to collapse. The weight of pumice was too much for stone and timber. People who had stayed inside for safety were now dying inside, crushed. The ones still alive faced an impossible choice: stay inside a collapsing building or go outside into the burning rain. At midnight, the eruption column collapsed. What happens when a 15-mile-high column of superheated gas falls back to Earth is called a pyroclastic surge. A wall of gas, ash, and rock moving at 180 miles per hour, 700 degrees Fahrenheit. It reached the first towns north of Vesuvius in under 2 minutes. At approximately 1 in the morning, it reached Pompeii. The surge did not burn the city. It was moving too fast for fire. It simply stopped everything. Every person, every animal, every flame, every sound, in a fraction of a second. Forensic analysis tells us they felt no pain. Death was instantaneous. The temperature was so extreme, so sudden, that the nervous system had no time to register it. They were there, and then they were not. By 6 in the morning, it was over. Pompeii was buried under 19 feet of ash and rock. The Bay of Naples was completely silent. A city of 20,000 people, gone. What the ash preserved in those 19 feet we are still discovering today. Chapter 3. We go inside what we found, and what we found will change how you see everything. Scars of Time. If you like the content, please follow us to keep showing histories that scarred the world. Across the Bay of Naples, 18 miles from Pompeii, a 17-year-old boy was watching. His name was Pliny the Younger, and what he wrote that night became the first eyewitness account of a volcanic eruption in human history. He wrote, "The cloud was rising from the mountain in the shape of a pine tree. It shot up to a great height and then spread out into branches. Sometimes it was white, sometimes dark and spotted, depending on whether it carried ash or cinders." His uncle, Pliny the Elder, commanded the Roman naval fleet stationed across the bay. When he saw the eruption, he ordered his ships to sail toward it, not to flee toward it. He wanted to rescue people, and he wanted one / greater than that decision killed him. Pliny the Younger watched from the shore as the ash cloud crossed the bay toward his position. He wrote that the sea pulled back from the shore, exposing the sea floor completely, as if the ocean itself was retreating from what was coming. We now know what that was: a tsunami surge caused by the eruption, the same phenomenon that precedes tsunamis today. He tied a pillow to his head with a cloth to protect himself from the falling debris, and walked inland in total darkness. At midday, it was darker than any night he had ever known. He survived. His uncle did not. Pliny the Younger spent the rest of his life writing down everything he witnessed. Those letters, written to the historian Tacitus, survived 1700 years and reached us intact. Because of a 17-year-old boy who kept his eyes open when everyone else was running, we know exactly what happened that day. His words are the reason we can tell this story at all. Scars of Time. If you like the content, please follow us to keep showing histories that scarred the world.